What's going on, everybody? This is Michael Stewart Isaac,
And this is Shemeka Ebony.
and this is your next edition of Sunday
Sunday
Stacks.
Stacks.
Yes, Sunday Stacks back again, and happy to always be alive. Yes, we are here on your live podcast network. Yes, and as we choose to live fruitful days as well as wonderful weeks, we always like to make sure that everyone out there is stacking up week for week as we focus on what, Shemeka?
Family,
Family, community,
community, and
and company.
company.
Yes, and we're trying to be in harmony and unity and all those things that make us feel those butterflies in our stomachs, right?
Yeah.
And Sunday Stacks is just that feel good podcast to make sure that all of you out there understand that you deserve that your life stacks up and then each week is being more productive than the last week and your family and your community and your company benefits from all that output. So thank you for tuning in to Sunday Stacks. We appreciate you. This is episode 29 of season 2. Shemeka, we
Whoa.
here.
We did
We
that.
fully here. So we are so grateful for all the new listeners that have been
Welcome.
hearing about Sunday Stacks. We welcome you to the space. We're grateful for your energy. Sunday Stacks, just to kind of recap, it's me and my beautiful wife, Shemeka Ebony. I'm Michael Stewart Isaacs. We're both facilitators, speakers, presenters. We have an organization, production company that brings you Sunday Stacks. I am brilliant. And we're just always grateful to continue to make great content. And we're just so fortunate to be able to bring Sunday Stacks to you week for week. Shemeka, can
Absolutely.
you tell us a little bit about the vision you started with Sunday Stacks, real quick, just to catch up some new listeners that are catching on to the program?
Absolutely. Sunday Stacks was originally started as an idea to just connect or inform community on what was going on and what was happening. And I took my first leap, bringing together a live version of this to really amplify how we build entrepreneurship in our community. And for me, my community at that time was in Southeast Raleigh. So we looked at ways to educate and entertain people to things that we know we do. Some of us enjoy one more than the other, but
Right, right.
we created an experience, and I was grateful to have your partnership, Michael, to be featured at the first Sunday Stacks Live. That then rolled over into a radio show at a HBCU here in North Carolina. With the shout out to WAUG.
Shout out WAUG. Yes, for sure.
Yeah, so this is where it began, and then God called us on the road with illuminating I Am Brilliant across the globe for several years. And we had the opportunity to partner with the Live Podcast Network to reintroduce ourselves to our community, call back our community that rocked with us from 2015. Like, we're here, we've been out here, you've been seeing what we've been doing. But for those that are just joining us and connecting us, through this podcast. Welcome to the space, and we are intentional in amplifying being naked. Shout out to whileimgettingnaked.com. Go get your copy. But these are the things that brought us together. It was community in entrepreneurship, and we've been on this long walk together, and it's been beautiful. It is beautiful.
Oh,
Every day I get to wake up and work with you.
man, you don't see us in the studio, but she over here smiling at me, looking all pretty. And I think that's the part of the story that she's telling you all the professional roots of how we got to here with Sunday Stacks and rebooting it. But this was a love story, y'all. This is a connection between me and Shemeka that led us to working together as community leaders that empowered one another and also empowered the people we were working with. And then through
Mhm.
the journey, we fell in love and we were able to continue building and growing a family and being a blended family. We affectionately called ourselves the Brilliant Bunch,
Yeah.
which is our children. And as they're growing and blossoming into who they're becoming, their little siblings, our older kids, all of I mean, we don't got kids anymore. These are like grown teenagers now. They're
Young adults.
young adults. The family's expanding.
And we got a 4-year-old
A 4-year-old.
and
So
a grandbaby.
and a grandbaby. I mean, we telling it, right?
We
So
don't have any pets
no pets,
yet.
yet, right? This is another conversation for another day. But as we're just telling you, as for our new listeners, we just want you to catch up to understand the type of program Sunday Stacks is and will continue to be.
And go catch up on some past episodes at sundaystacks.com or in the live podcast community. You have what, 28 more episodes you can listen to on the live podcast network, Sunday Stacks Station.
We love it. And one thing I'm grateful, we started with YouTube. We've been building with the live. The live has got its distribution. We on Spotify, y'all. We on Apple Podcast. I didn't even know these things until the other day as I'm growing into my own podcastership. But we're on all
Yeah,
these
we're out here.
platforms. So you make sure you check out Sunday Stacks wherever you can and tell a friend that you found something unique, something special, voices that will continue to only empower you. And that's what me and Shemeka are committed to do through this platform is empower you all to continue to be
Yeah.
the best versions of
See your
yourself.
light. Yeah.
Yes, build great relationships. We even have an affectionate thing we call divorce talk because one thing as a married couple and what we're
Yes.
building, we always make sure that we look at all kinds of insurances, all kind of ways to keep ourselves together. But we also have to understand being divorcees, both me and Shemeka, who met
Hmm.
in community, which is our narrative. We want you all to understand like we sometimes got to have those ugly conversations about the things we like about our spouse as well as the things that we don't and we
Yes.
want to see improved. And if you're on a journey and walking with one another, you come in as individuals that should be whole. But over time, you have to also now become a new thing once you choose to be on a journey with someone else. So it's an evolution process. And I
Hmm.
think us as men and women who are starting to walk this journey, because I see so many unhealthy relationships out there, love.
Yeah.
And I think, part of what we want to do with the divorce talk, segments and different things we discuss with Sunday Stacks and even our Sunday Stacks Live and everything we're just doing throughout the I Am Brilliant conglomerates, we
Yes.
definitely want to continue to give you all content that just empowers your family because it's important. It's important. So enough of that. We just wanted to catch you all up and really give love and thanks to
Hmm.
our new listeners
With
who
appreciation,
really are
yes.
catching up and learning about Sunday Stacks. We want to make sure you just don't start listening to episodes and don't understand where we're coming from. We want you to kind of get filled in and know the dedication and how long this has been going and has blossomed from HBCU college radio to now being on a national stage with the Live Podcast Network. So we're just grateful.
Absolutely. I definitely, it made me think of so many accomplishments and wins and challenges that we've had along the way, but the power of consistency, and we, definitely want to lift that. So I want to also say in our How's It Stacking for this week, that wow, our kids hit their 100th follower
Oh,
with the Brilliant
yay.
Bunch.
Shout out
So
Brilliant
yeah,
Bunch, the Brilliant
it's on
Bunch. Yeah.
YouTube.
Yes.
So they were super excited about that, and it just really sparked something in them to keep pushing and going because they're very passionate. They were out there serving community with us when we did that. They are all about how they can help someone else, and they use their creativity, just like our older gents did with Miles Missions and the community service and engagement work that they did in their youth when they were young as well. So I'm grateful. So feeling that this week felt good. This has been a week filled with also stacking with my clients. A lot of my clients I can't talk about because it's like super confidential. But in general, I'll say it's been wonderful to re-engage my client community that are coming into the fall with a need and expectation to build strategy that's more sustainable.
I love that.
So I'm grateful for that. How's it been stacking for you this week?
It has been a unique week, but I'm always grateful. This season, honestly, and we'll get into that in our Sunday school segment, but it's been a unique season for me. For those who've been listeners to past episodes, I had a lot of losses. I lost a couple of uncles in previous weeks. I had some other relatives pass away. So it's just been that season. But recently I found out that, a mentor of mine's, Steve Mariotti. He is the founder of Nifty, which is the network for teaching entrepreneurship. And it's an organization I've been fortunate to have relationships with since the mid 2000s. When I reached out to Steve, the founder, and I was a young entrepreneur just trying to get some direction, get some mentorship. And this man had no problem to give me everything and more in regards to communication, relationship, and connection to his community with the Nifty. And so I've always stayed in touch. I did some projects with them in Los Angeles, which was amazing. We were doing programs with young kids, but he
Oh,
created this
wow.
network of, entrepreneurship training for young kids in college as well as in high school. And it's just been an amazing journey. But unfortunately, Steve Mariotti, he passed away a few weeks ago. And so this week there was a ceremony, memorial, kind of a celebration of life. And it was just a
Mhm.
bunch of videos that really inspired me. These were individuals who were touched by Steve's life and what he's done in their life. They were people. His story is like he was from the Bronx. He went to Harvard, came back to his community, became a teacher in the Bronx with Bronx kids, and then just started realizing that a lot of them had aptitude for entrepreneurship and business. They just didn't have all the kind of direction that they needed. And so that's what gave birth to Nifty,
Wow.
and he's just been doing such amazing work, winning all kinds of national awards and just spreading Nifty across the country as well as the globe to just implore people that it's important to teach young people about how to truly make something out of nothing through entrepreneurship and really fostering what imagination needs to look like to find those opportunities, especially in our society as a capitalistic society. So again,
Mhm.
shout out to Steve Mariotti. He's just been an amazing mentor to me and so many other people, and his legacy will always be felt. I have a service I call Entrepaganda. Started it many years ago as a philosophy in regards to the gaps that people needed to fill in to really understand what it takes to project what I call entrepreneurial propaganda, right? That no one else is going to tell the world that you're special until you tell yourself you're special enough that the world needs something you offer, thus owning your value. And
Mhm.
so Entrepaganda was born out of that. And not only just owning your value, but also knowing how to create value and understand how that looks in other people's eyes and how people value things. I always tell people if you looked at your business like a piece of art or somebody's collector's card, why does someone hold value of millions of dollars for a piece of art or even like a first edition collector's card? Those types of things, we have to ask ourselves. And if we can start valuing our business in the same way, which is this entrepreneur, even valuing ourselves, then people will start to reflect the value of who you believe you are. And so we'll go into that another
Mhm.
time. These are the nuggets you get here, Sunday Stacks, and just hearing my week and how it's been stacking up. I'm just grateful just to be reflective on what I would love to do in the future to make sure that I'm always adding and contributing value to our community and to our society, just like Steve did. And there's so much more.
Wow.
I've had an
That's
amazing week.
awesome.
As a CEO, as an entrepreneur, I have to always make things happen. So lots of projects, lots of things, but most important job is being a father. And like I said, it's been a great week in that as well to see our
Oh
kids
yeah,
do
we
well.
had the friend, I get
We
Friendsgiving
had a Friendsgiving this week. Yes, we did have that. That was amazing too.
and a birthday
We
party.
had a birthday party. So we've been, one thing we're learning as a couple is how to find couple friends. And I don't know any of
Mhm.
you out there, we were talking about divorce talk, right? That's a good way to stay out of divorce is having good couple friends that you can build with, grow with, and learn together, especially in God. How do we be better versions of ourselves, be better
Mhm.
women, teaching one another, men growing and learning from one another. And then we come back and then we improve our relationship with our spouses in a healthy way with new skill sets and tools. So we try to do that, and we've been growing our tribe and our community. So just shout out to all of our Friendsgiving tribe and
Yeah.
all of our party tribes that
All
we've been able
right.
to define and really find some good times. What's your reflection on some of you've had some fun partying? This Shemeka. Let me tell you about Shemeka. She has one nickname for herself, and she always calls herself Winner. Winner. That's her nickname for herself. Anytime we play a game, what's your name in the game? Winner. Anytime you do like winner, like but I love the mentality because it works for her sometimes when she's not playing me. But
Oh,
but
word.
but
See,
in other
that's what's up.
times she wins. So I think you had a rousing game of musical chairs that went down pretty spectacular.
Listen, if you ain't playing musical chairs at your adult gatherings, then you missing out. Like I just want to throw a party just for musical
Just for
chairs.
musical chairs. We have learned through our
It's going
friends,
down,
like it's been
literally.
parties after parties we've been having with our neighborhood friends, our
Oh,
tribe.
sisterhood.
Yes, and it's just been amazing that we threw a phenomenal surprise party for Shemeka on her birthday. She's a Halloween baby. For those who still want to send any donations to the Shemeka birthday fund for next year. Right. But we take birthday serious around here. Brilliant birthday wishes, shout outs to everyone. But
Oh,
yeah, and definitely speaking of that, we want to give a special shout out to my lovely mother-in-law. I call her Lady E, but we want to give her a phenomenal. But Shemeka's mother is having a birthday,
because
and we
her
want to shout it
birthday
out.
is tomorrow. Happy birthday, mommy, grandma, great grandma, Evelyn Cannon. We appreciate you. Long life be continued. Blessings be upon you. It is an honor to be able to celebrate you another traveling year around the sun. We're excited for you and looking forward to how we're going to be celebrating.
Brilliant birthday wishes, Mom Evelyn. We love you very much. And so, with that, we're going to go ahead and transition into our segment, which we call Sunday School. So, Sunday School is just a segment where we teach and just really connect in the spirit with you all out there who understand where I'm coming from, that really understand that sometimes we got to feed and edify our minds, our hearts, so our souls can be released into this world in a way that really continues to improve. So, with this
Hmm.
Sunday School topic, this one was really tough, but we really had to think about something that's really important because sometimes this topic, we're going to call it out of season, out of touch, out of season, out of touch. And so a lot of what this topic was pulled from was real life, y'all. So as we talk about how things stack up week for week, doesn't always mean it's going to be perfect, right? The stacking that we do here at Sunday Stacks and with our organization, I Am Brilliant, is an intentional stacking, is an intentional reason to have impact in your community, reason to start being impactful in how you network and create supply chains for your company. Like it takes a lot to stack, but
Hmm.
sometimes life tries to subtract. And so when we start to feel that subtraction, we also feel this like lack of traction in other relationships and other things we do because we're building new things. And
Mhm.
so as we only are human beings with 24 hours in a day, and we have to realize that our years are kind of divided into 365, but let's keep it simple. It's 90 days towards every quarter of a year. And in that, we have seasons. We have the summer, which we just came out of season 4. We're presently in the fall. And now we're looking slowly as the leaves are turning. We're getting into a season that is the winter cold period that sometimes we say to ourselves, things are dying, things aren't growing. But sometimes there's something happening underneath the surface in that season, particularly in the winter, that we have to always think about seeds that are planted, but most importantly, roots that are firm, that sometimes just need to be warmed up and prepared for the new season as we prepare for springs. And then a
Mhm.
spring brings you back into the summer. And so as we look at our lives and our relationships and the people that we're building with, we have to ask ourselves sometimes when things are out of season. And so therefore you may be out of touch. But what I encourage you with the first analogy about the changing of seasons, when the seeds are planted and the roots are firm, understand in the right season, the relationships and the things that are meant for you, that are truly intertwined with you, will continue to grow. And you will find that there's so much more going on underneath the surface in terms of the connectivity and the things that we have to prepare for through each season. So, as we reflect to just the out of touch part, we have to never lose touch with the creator that is within us as well as around us, that we always know that something special is happening. So, we never get so caught up in the emotion that just because something's out of touch and out of season doesn't mean it's out of reach and doesn't mean it's out of your control, that you will allow for its due time to come back around and do what it's assigned to do from roots to seeds. So I hope that made sense. Shemeka, what was your reflection on some of what out of season and out of touch? What were your thoughts in that?
Well, thank you for lifting that. And I love what you shared about, the need and preparation for our consistency, no matter what, whether we're shedding. I think about this relationally, especially with Relator being a top strength for me. It's about how I feel connected to others and the feelings of reciprocity around that. And so when I look at this from theory to practical application, it makes me think, you know, God has just really been ministering to me on helping me deal with wanting things out of season. It may be some things, people, relationships, connections that we want that are like beyond ripen, like it's rotten. It has no fruitful life in it, and we are wanting it either out of season or in its winter time when we want stuff so prematurely, especially, and this will go back to divorce talks too. When we think about, we want to be in a relationship with someone so bad, we'll take them at any stage versus not being able to identify what season that person is in their life. But first, most importantly, knowing what season you are in your life and your readiness to receive what you're asking for, because God loves us so much. Sometimes we get exactly what we asked for, and then we realize it wasn't what we needed, it was just what we wanted. And now we've yoked ourselves with someone that we wanted in a need, and their readiness is they were in their season of dying and renewing, and you were just attracted to that. It's trauma bonding, and now you've committed your life. Now you got some kids by this person. Now that you're walking down a journey that was birthed out of your premature, you wanting something out of season. And so when I think about that relationally, it's the mindfulness of knowing what season you're in your life, knowing what season you want to connect with someone in, like where are they? Because if you push something too prematurely, it'll bear fruit of something that's overdue or underdeveloped, or however it's showing up wherever you are in your season. So those are some things that kind of stuck out to me thinking about this for practical application in relationships. When we want to avoid divorce, stop calling for something to manifest when it's out of season. Like the
Preach.
readiness isn't there. You just want what you want and you want it by this date. And that idolatrous mentality gets you something that is premature, underdeveloped, or
That
burn
part.
out. And then you mad wondering why this one ain't acting like these other ones. 'Cause well, you weren't where you were supposed to be either. And until we get naked with ourselves and acknowledge that, we can't begin to be whole for someone else because we're denying the wholeness of where we are, even if we are in our own underdeveloped state.
Ooh. So that's the segment we call y'all Shemeka said, right? Like she said,
God said.
I know that's right. We in full agreement in what Shemeka said and what, God is doing through us through this Sunday school segment. So as we look to shift to our final segment of the hour, bum, bum, bum. But nah, as we shift to our final segment, we call this one the Whiz of
Wizard
the
of
Week. Yes, the Whiz of the Week. Yes, the Whiz of the Week is back and so many things to talk about. Oh my goodness. Yes. So, yes, Donald Trump has been looking to pick his cabinet. And I mean, he has chosen such a pick. I mean, he's gone everywhere from Elon Musk to Survey Swami, the gentleman that tried to run against him, doing a Doge department. You have him choosing Congressman Matt Gates, and this gentleman has been under allegation of sexual misconduct. There's been a bipartisan House committee that's been investigating him, but now he wants to make him Attorney General. So, thus, that means any investigations that were being done on him, this man can dismiss all. I mean, just the unique level of positioning and, on some levels, manipulation as being done. A little quid pro quo that
Mm-hmm.
people are probably, positioning here. It's just interesting, but these people claim they're resetting the country, and I guess the way that happens is fight night. Yes, yes, yes. It's
Yes.
been fight
Trump
night
and
all
fight
across.
night.
Yes,
Fight,
fight nights
fight,
all
fight.
across the country. We're gonna get into the big one that we'll talk about, but first we're gonna talk about, of course, since we're talking politics with Trump. Trump was at the UFC 309. Yes, UFC 309 fight where Jon Jones was able to keep his championship. His reign continues. UFC fighter, but what was the thing that captured everyone at this fight night was Donald Trump being in attendance with people such as Elon Musk. You had the Robert Kennedy was there. all
Mm.
these power players in Madison Square Garden for this fight night. Trump was walked in like he was one of the fighters,
Contenders.
and very interesting. But at the end, Jon Jones hit what was notoriously known as the Trump dance. He was able to come in there and do the Donald Trump YMCA, I guess they call it, dance, where he was doing his little twisting his little arms and doing his thing.
Not
So I guess that's going to
the
start being a meme going around here. They're going to be like the Trump dance on TikTok coming up soon or something like that. You know how this world does.
arms.
I mean, when things happen, we make fun of the world whenever, we have to, and it's better, right? Sometimes you got to laugh to not cry, right? For whenever things don't necessarily look the way you want it to, and the world is starting to kind of regroup itself now, even though we got these crazy cabinet picks, even though you got, your president at the I mean, he was always entertaining.
Yeah,
So of course he's going to
this
be
is
at
his
every
line.
and he's this is what supposedly his last term. So he's going to probably do everything and anything he wants, in these 4 years. But hey, shout out, long live America. We want our country to do well. So as we also look at another fight night, Shamaka, this one and me and you, we're gonna have to give a little commentary to Netflix,
Mhm.
streaming, not streaming,
Buffering, buffering,
buffering
buffering.
fight with what's the name? Logan Paul and Mike Tyson. And I mean, what a setup for failure. I mean, this fight in itself. We're gonna talk about the other fights that were very entertaining.
Side note, I just want to. Do you know that those are four first names?
Which one? I know, right? That's funny. That's funny. You talking about Mike Tyson, Logan Paul, right? Yes, yeah, right. But they were the headliners. They were the ones who drew people to these tickets at this was a massive event. It was at the Cowboy
Cowboy
Stadium.
State.
Yes, so
Had the Cowgirls.
all of that. They had everything from start to finish. A phenomenal event. But the buffering issues that Netflix had to get us to this fight, man. I
I think
swear.
that was done to keep us there so we wouldn't
Oh
try to
my
go to the
goodness. I had to log
bathroom or
in, log
nothing.
out. I mean, it was so many things going on. But shout out to Netflix. If you want to go ahead and become a sponsor, feel free to reach out to Sunday Stacks or their live podcast network. But when it comes to
Yeah.
this fight, I hope you got a lot of data on how to do better.
Oh,
Oh my goodness. What a time that was. But all jokes aside, I
they
mean,
tried it. It was a pilot.
it was something.
It was a pilot.
We're not gonna just overlook the fact that, okay, outside of the buffering issues,
It felt
it
staged.
felt like it was a stage fight, and Mike Tyson, like, he was buffering when he was trying to fight, like
Yeah, his
buffering.
legs were buffering.
Oh my goodness, Mike was buffering, had his whole knee brace on. I'm like, man, Logan Paul was playing. Mike kept biting at his glove. It was
I
like
think that because he really wanted to
he
tear him
wanted to
up.
tear him up, but he's like, man, I mean,
He's
it
like,
looked like they were.
I need these couple of millions because he had already told the little girl F legacy.
Oh yeah, that's let's not forget that shout out to Jazzy Report. She was
It's
being.
like he gonna get that money for his family.
Man, Mike Tyson, he kind of let us
Now
know,
go somewhere and sit down now, Mike. We done did it now.
you got this
You
money,
got it.
Mike.
Now go sit down.
You may not want a legacy, but you got it. And if you're looking to do anything with licensing, holla at your boy. I know somebody that knows somebody. But anyways, other than that, we definitely wanted to also discuss some of these other fights that were at this. There were some amazing
But
fight.
the realest fight was
Was
this
the women's
woman
fight.
fight.
Oh my goodness, this was
Oh my
amazing.
gosh. Shout out Puerto Rico.
Yes, shout out Puerto Rico.
Oh my,
But this was an amazing fight. We know that, again, being a fixed fight with the
that was very fit.
buffering.
This
I'm sorry.
girl was fighting with her eyelid
Right?
flapping.
Yes, yes. Shout out Puerto Rico. The Irish fighter. She looked like they kind of staged. It was like supposedly a unanimous decision, but we know how it really went
Yeah,
down.
no,
You
they
are
didn't have
champion.
a unanimous decision the entire night, so we all know. And to the head button girl, you got to find another way
Mhm.
because that's not a good idea to keep going down this pathway, splitting skulls like you in the street. You
Oh
need to
man.
be in UFC.
Yeah, well, maybe that's where she's going next, but hey, either way, it was definitely a night of great fights. There were a few other great ones. But we definitely
Oh
wanted.
yeah, the Indian.
Yeah, the Indian gentleman won
That was
against the
dope.
Brazilian. That was a good fight. It was, again, Netflix. You did it. Very genius on your part to do it with international fighters that were building audiences. You brought the right fight when it came to elevating women's boxing. So, kudos to that.
Mhm.
Kudos to the company, MVP, that was the fight promoter. They're like a 3-year-old company that was able to pull this level of fight off. So
Incredible.
I mean, that's kudos to just the bank, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I'm taking notes, taking notes. You know, we doing it all over here, and I am brilliant. Let me tell you this. But either way, but like I said, we could talk about all these things. But these were the Wizards of the Week. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Sunday Stacks. As always, Shemek, you want to tell them how to continue to stay tuned in?
Absolutely. Make sure you download the Alive Podcast Network and make sure you connect with us at Sunday Stacks. And we welcome subscribers. We want to hear from you. Definitely drop comments in the app. And you can also drop comments on the Sunday Stacks YouTube channel. Go to sundaystacks.com. Also, we have an upcoming event. So, on behalf of Black Girl Magic Market, I just want to say if you are a Black woman entrepreneur, that is leading the way, ready to take that next step, may currently even be a part of selling your stuff on e-commerce and Amazon. We're going to be speaking. We have a virtual engagement opportunity coming up on December 13th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to hear directly from someone that can tell you what you need to do to get your stuff Amazon ready, definitely you want to tap in. So come check us out, speak to us in the meta group. Definitely link out to me directly on DMs on all social media platforms with Shemeka Ebony. And we'll make sure you get the link to register because we don't want you to miss out. And this is hot off the press because I haven't even posted this yet. So you're getting it in real time.
Yes, yes. So don't say Sunday Stacks ain't help you stack up and really get
Okay.
yourself prepared. And again, I'm Michael Stewart Isaacs. Make sure you check me out at stewartisaacs.com if you're looking to book a speaker that's going to continue to motivate you to be the best version of yourself. Then you found that person. And we definitely want you to check us out on all social media platforms, Michael Stewart Isaacs, Shemeka Ebony. We got Sunday Stacks podcast on Instagram. Keep up with our world. Keep up with the Brilliant Bunch and all the work we're doing across family, community, and company. We love to keep you in the loop. We got our own unique way of, I guess, making a new reality television type of programming. But, just definitely stay tuned with all the things that we're plugged into. There's a lot of information to learn, a lot of ways to help you grow and stack up week for week. So, as always, we thank you for tuning in to Sunday Stacks. Again, make sure to tell a friend, share this podcast, and tell them like Sunday Stacks did something for you today. And as
Absolutely.
always, we like to close it with saying to you, I
I
am
am
brilliant,
brilliant.
and
You
you
are
are too.
too.
Thank you again for tuning in to Sunday Stacks, and we look forward to seeing you next week. Peace.